Hello. So this tutorial is going to be how to get from a purchased VRChat character off of a marketplace. And I'm not going to show you how to paint it, but I'll show you how to load in the textures. And then we'll go from there and try to get to a VRM file that you can load into VseeFace as quickly as possible with having, expressions, happy, anger, yada, yada, all that jazz. And also having enough to be able to talk. I don't have physics, but I do have textures, and it'll get you up and running at least in a quick enough speed. So let's try to get you there as quickly as possible and hopefully have something cool. Anyways, first up, you're going to need Unity, and you're going to need a specific Unity. You will need, where to go? It is a version let's see, Unity version 2019.4.31, where'd you go? There it is, this guy. So you're going to want to install Unity Hub first. And then when you're done with Unity Hub installing, then you click this little link, and that will pop open Unity Hub, and it will install this particular version of Unity. So I'll provide links, of course, in the description below, but Unity 2019.4.31. Once that is done, then you're also going to want to download a couple other things. First, you want to go onto a marketplace. Here is the model we'll be using by the amazing Rice Baller. They do a lot of really cool models, and we're going to be using theirs. These are very affordable for the amount of work that goes into those, so please buy them. That said, the textures we're going to be using are from the amazing Demon Queen Vivi, and the music is provided by GeoXR, who allows anybody to use their music, so rock on. Anyways, when you purchase one of these, you'll almost always have a link to download a Unity package. That's what we're going to be working with. And also a Substance Painter file, which you can use to paint the textures with. I'm not going to show you how to paint the textures. You can use them a million different ways, but I will be loading in new textures. So I downloaded their Unity package, and Vivi did a repaint. And so we got that and that. The other things we're going to want to download is the VRM exporter from, or that you'll be able to plug into Unity to export VRM files from Unity. You need a specific one, this version 0.95.1. This one gets along with that specific version of Unity. I've tried lots of other ones, and they all seem to corrupt in one way or another, except for this combination. So this is what we're going with. It lacks some features, but I don't care. Also, on the model page, they will list any prerequisites normally. This one's prerequisite was, what'd they say? Somewhere in here. There it is. PoiyomiToonShader. Now, we're not going to be using PoiyomiToonShader, but I think it needs to be loaded in order for the first version of the model to load in correctly. So we will be installing it. And that said, I think that's... Oh, yeah, that was something else I was checking out. Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Projects, which I already started one of these. Let's just make a whole new one. We'll say New Project, and we're going to want to use the version of Unity that I talked about, that 2019.4.31. And then we're going to call this Puppy Tutorial AO2, because it's the second one, because I screwed it up last time. Anyways, good. We hit Create Project. And I hate commercials. There we go. So, here are packages from Unity. First up, oh yeah, it has to finish getting itself all set up and configured. So wait for that. All right, we good? Okay, so Alt left mouse button, drag does rotate. Alt middle mouse does pan, and mouse wheel in and out, or Alt right mouse button does zoom in, zoom out. So if you need to move around the scene, no, that's what it is. But this is an open scene. It's like a level in a game. So we need to add some stuff to Unity. So first we're going to add the PoiyomiToonShader. So we'll just take that Unity package and we'll drag and drop it into assets. And then it's going to ask for approval on installing everything. So we say import. All right, now that that's done, the next one we want to install is the VRM package. So that's this guy right here, and it's the specific UniVRM 0.95.1. So we just go ahead and drag and drop that into assets. All right, and then we hit import.
For several years, I've had the privilege of announcing new versions of Vegas Pro.
Commercials. Oh my god, I hate commercials. So now that the VRM is done importing, and we now, oh wait, nope, it's not done. You gotta hit accept all. There we go. Now that it's imported, we have this VRM menu up at the top. Now, next up, what we want to do is we want to import the actual Unity package that we bought from RiceBaller. So that's Baller Puppety package. And we drag and drop that into assets. And we hit import. Alrighty, so now we have all the parts necessary inside of Unity. Let me make sure the recording's still going. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is we want to go into the Riceballer 3D folder, go into the puppy, and then this scene right here, anything you see like this is just a scene. Think of it as a level, a folder, like you would in any other program. So you open it up, and there's the wonderful file that Riceballer made for us. So first thing we want to do is fix the fact that all these clothes and all these things are showing. But this is how lots of times you'll receive these, is they'll have morph targets turned on for the clothing. So up on the left, this is the main viewport. Down here is the folder structure for the assets. Here is the asset viewing area, and over here is the outliner. So we open that up, and first we want to fix the clothing. So on the clothing, we want to go to, where's the morph targets on the clothing? Blend shapes right here. So you click on this little plus arrow, and what we need to find is this section called the slurp section. The slurps mean it's slurping the clothing in. So we want to get rid of those shoes, and we want to get rid of the socks, and we want to get rid of the jeans, and we want to get rid of the crop top. And these are the clothes we want, except for the boobs are hanging out. So what we need to do now is go over to the body. And there was a workout, no, that's the workout shorts suck in. Okay, so yeah, workout shorts you suck in, and you can see the body got sucked in down there. That's making it so the body won't penetrate those shorts. And there should be one for the shirt as well. I guess this one probably works. Tank top, body slurp. Let's get over there and have a gander. And it's being a little persnickety. Come on now. There we go. So they look like they're lining up, and you can kind of see on the tank top, see how it's pulling the chest in but keeping the clothing the same size. So that means when things are bouncing and moving, they will not show through. So that does that. So that's basically the morph target setup. So make sure when you set these, hit Control S. See how there's a little star up here on the left? You want to hit Control S to make sure everything is saved. Next up is the textures. And so for that, we're going to go inside of mats, and we can, for materials, and we can see here's all the textures. There's also the materials that are MAT files. And when you click on them, I'll give it a second because it has to go through and load up the shaders and do a bit of compiling. So just sit tight and wait until they are no longer blue. And then everything's going. Good. So same for the clothing. Everything's good. Now we want to do the hair. And we'll wait till that's done. Otherwise, you're just going to be not able to see what's happening with what you're doing. So you just kind of wait till they compile. There goes that one. And then we click on head. And there it goes. Okay, so next up, I have these textures that were made by the very, very talented Demon Queen Vivi. I'll put her link in below. But anywho, here are all of the textures she created. So we're going to grab those, and we're just going to drag and drop them into this folder. And there, now they're all in here. So first up, we'll start with the body. So we're going to select, oh wait, you don't select the mesh out there. We're actually changing the material. So we're going to select the body material. And then we're going to have her body material texture. And what we're going to do up here under colors and normals is the main texture right there. So you just drag and drop that into there. Now we're going to have to change some shading on this, but that's okay. The texture did load in. So what we're going to do next is do the same for all of them to get the texture in. So the clothing one is next. What was hers called? Clothing. So we should have one called clothing right here. Oops, I accidentally selected that. So there's the clothing. Drag and drop her clothing in. That actually didn't change anything because it's just the original. Next up is the hair, and her texture was called hair base. So hair base, there it is. So we're going to drag and drop that hair base in. That swaps that over. And then next up is the head. And her texture is called head base. So we're going to, here it is right here, grab head base, drag and drop that in. Now that we have that, we want to change, you can't see them, but just because OCDness, we're going to change the shoes to her shoes, which was called shoes base. There it is. So we select the shoes. I hate commercials so much. So there's the shoes base material. And here's the texture. So we're going to grab her shoes base and drag and drop it in there. There we go. All right. So this is not exactly how we want this to look, but the textures are loaded in. So first up, we're going to fix this brown on the material. So if we select the body material down here, what we're going to do is we're going to scrub through the material and try to find what's doing that. I just know ahead of time that this happens to be down here, this matte cap. This matte cap is using a mask to put a certain color over the top. We want to just turn that off and use the texture underneath. So we wait for that to recompile. There it is. These are the colors VV actually created. So now that that's good, we also have this kind of annoying orange glow around everything, which is not what we want. This is a shading thing that's happening here. So we're going to scrub through, find anything that's making it not look the way we want. Anything that's got a check on it that's doing something. This one I happen to know is the shading light data. So I'm just going to go through these and change them to a blue tint. There we go. That took care of some of it, but there's also this rim light right here, and I want that to be kind of a blue tint. There we go. That's a little better. Maybe a bit purpley, something a little. There we go. That's kind of cool. There. Nice. I like that. The other thing that's kind of weird is that outline. And so I'm just going to, make it a little bit darker, make it a color. There we go. That fits a little better. So next up is the head material. So I'm going to grab the head material. I'm going to find the rim light, and I'm going to change that to a kind of a bluish tint rather. That's already looking a lot better. I'm going to go up the line. I'm probably going to see what this matte cap does when I turn it off. And it didn't seem to do much, so yeah. Well, okay, it's adding a little bit of yellow, and so I want that off, yeah. And these guys are adding some like tint shading, so the theme of this character is more of a bluish tint, so we're going to switch that all over. There we go, that's looking a bit better. And is there anything else? I think there's just the outline left. So I'm going to scrub down until I find the outline, and we're going to adjust that to kind of a bluish colored sort of, there we go, that feels a little better. Alright, so that's the head looking pretty, let's get it on in there. Head looking pretty good. Now there's the matter of the hair. The shoes don't matter because they're not showing, so let's jump over to the hair, and we want to change the rim light to be more of a bluish. There we go, that looks kind of cool. And then we also want to change the stylized specular to something like that, or perhaps like that, because it's the highlight. Specular is for highlights. Outline color, we definitely want to darken that up a bit. Give it a slightly different color, like that. That looks pretty good. What else is turned on in here? Oh, yep, this kind of like subtle shading, which we want. Again, I'm just doing this because these colors look good on this character with this color design. There we go. Now it's looking a bit better. All right, there's all of that. So we did the body. We didn't do the cloth yet, but I think the cloth is kind of good as is. Yeah. There we go. So that's all the materials done. So now we hit Control S, which I should have hit sooner, but I didn't. Anyways, here we are, hitting Control S and saving. So now that the character is to this point, what we want to do now is do our first VRM export. We have to do it in 2 stages, which is really dumb, but that's the way this plugin works. So now that we have the textures and the morph targets set up, we're going to select the baller puppy, and then we're going to go up to VRM, and then we're going to say freeze T-pose first, right? And that puts it into an absolute T-pose rather than a mostly T-pose. And it also creates a second thing here, which is Rice Baller Puppy normalized. Then we're going to go export VRM with that Rice Baller Puppy or Baller Puppy normalized selected. And that will give us this menu. And we want to say... of things that we have to do, we have to give it a title, so we're going to call it Puppy Tutorial A01, right? And under version, we'll call it A01. Ready? I've done a lot of other projects, so I'm going to call this E01 just so I don't mix it up with other stuff. And E01, and then author, we'll say me. There we go. Now it says there are bones in the hierarchy with the same name that can be renamed afterwards. Roots okay. Under export setting, I think we need to say make T-pose. So make sure to click make T-pose, but then also make sure to say pose freeze, and that will fix that. The rest, I'm fairly certain can be ignored. I'm hoping these are the correct settings, so I don't have to do this again. But yes, we brought it in. We clicked Make T-Pose. We went to Export Setting, clicked Pose Freeze. On the metadata, we gave it a title, a version, and an author. And then we're going to pick somewhere to export this to. So we go ahead and hit Export. We'll jump to a folder. And... Baller Puppy normalized. Let's call it, what was that? E01. Yep. And then we hit save. And so this is exporting it into this folder right now. There it goes. And then what we're going to do, since it's all exported, we're going to go back up to assets and we're going to make a new folder. So we say right mouse button click, create folder, and we're going to call this VRM base, just for like this is where it's being stored for now. And then inside there, we're going to create a folder called E01. And that's just in case we screw up and have to do it again. It's a nice naming convention that I like to follow. Anywho, so now that we have a VRM that was exported, again, round 1, now we... Real silly, we have to go back to VRM and say import VRM. And then here's our E01, so now we say open. And we choose where to save it to, which is VRM base E01. And we hit save. And it's going to load all of that in. Okie dokie, so now it's in here, but we still have to do some fixes to this. So what we're going to want to do is we'll save this level we have open, and we'll say, once it's done saving, we'll say new scene, so we get this blank scene, and we're going to want to say file save as to save this scene in a location, and we're going to go inside of the VRM base, E01, and I hate commercials, and we're going to call this Baller Puppy E01 base. Or, yeah, let's put base before that because I always put version at the end. Base E01, and it's a scene file. There you go. So you'll see that appeared right there. So that's this world right now, and there's nothing in it. So we're going to grab this exported Baller Puppy, and we're going to drag and drop it into the scene. And it'll take a second to load. Oh wait, I guess I missed it. Drag and drop. There we go. Now we have to make sure to set its location up here on position on the top right. Set it to 0, 0, 0. So it's at origin. There we go. And you'll notice some of the shaders went a little funny. And VRM, this is why I say we technically didn't need to bring in PoiyomiToonShader at all. But we're going to have to switch everything to VRM shaders because the Poiyomi doesn't get along with VseeFace. So what we want to do is inside that VRM base, this is all the folders down here on the bottom left that got created. We want to go inside of materials, and we're first going to open up map body. And we're going to change it from standard shader to VRM mToon. There we go. And now it has a toon shader on it. And everything else looks good. We want to get rid of this pink shade. See how it's kind of pinkish? Let's just put that to white. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go to the head next. And the head is getting blown out because this HDRI emission channel. So we're going to change that down to black. So it's fine. And or do we change it to white? I can't remember. No, black. Black is what does it. Except for it is right. It's still on standard shader. So change the shader to VRM mToon. There we go. Now change the shade color to just white. You know, black looks like that. We want just white. And if anything's on HDRI, we just want to change it to black. But it looks good. So now we'll just jump through them in order. Change the clothing, VRM, mToon, shade color just to white, and that looks good. Hair, change the shader type, VRM, mToon, get rid of that excess pink. HDR is looking normal. This one also has a normal map. It came through. The head, we already have set up properly. And then the shoes, just because we'll do the same on it. So there we go. Now we have the model looking right in a shader that VseeFace will understand. Again, because it doesn't understand PoiyomiToonShaders, but it does understand this one. So now that we got that changed, we want to hit Control S to save this scene, make sure it's stored. This will just give us this, but none of the face motions are going to be set up yet. So what we want to do is click on this top baller puppy, and then we want to go down to, we can create a thumbnail if we want. We can do a screenshot. Oh, no, but there we go. It's going to want to put it somewhere else. So forget it. What we want to do is fix the morph targets because they will not currently be functioning. So if we click on Baller Puppy normalized and then scroll down somewhere in here, we're going to see the blend shapes right there. If we click on it once, what that does is it selects this asset right here inside of blend shapes, which is underneath our VM folder, blend shapes. If we double click on it, it opens it up. So what we want to do is make each one of these have them do something, because these are the face shapes that VseeFace feeds off of. This is the smaller list. The more modern one has a bigger list. You can go ahead and create those, but that's not what we're doing here today. We're doing the quick one. So neutral looks good. Face looks good down there. We want to click on A and go to the head mesh and find the A one. And so A is that shape. So if we drag it to 100 and hit Control S, well, that saves this. And then if we go to I, head mesh, I, which I, that's that sound. So that's I. Hit Control S for save. U, go to the head shape. U, this is O, that's U. So drag that over to the right, that's U. Hit Control S. E. Same thing, looking for E. Where is it? There it is. E. And there's that. And then we go to O. Head mesh. O. See, this is why it's OH, because that's O, that's U. Because they're phonetically spelled. So that's the O. Now we go to blink. And we go to head mesh. And we turn on blink. There we go. That should work. Oh, also just to ensure that these will work, also turn blink L to blink. Because one version of VseeFace feeds off of the single blink, one feeds off of both, and as long as at least L or R has blink turned up, then it'll make both of them blink. And you don't want to do both because then it'll compound the blend shape, and they won't just blink halfway down, they'll blink through the head. That said, we want to make something for joy for the expression inside of VseeFace, so we'll say what? Smile closed, or smile open perhaps? Let's see. I know there was one for eyes happy. Where'd it go? Happy blink. There we go. That's a good happy face. And something with the brows. Brows up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, like that. That's a good happy. So now we hit Control S and save that. So that's joy. And you'll notice if we click back through these, blink, oh, each of them is stored inside when we click these, as long as we hit Control S after we do each one. So anger, we're going to open up the head and go down to, I need to switch my glasses real quick. Oh. All right, so which one were we on? Anger. Now with anger, we go down to bring the angry mark out. And then eyes mad. And then we need something with the mouth. Mouth frown. Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's anger. Well, let's see what the other ones are. Brows mad. Anger mark. Eyes are kind of angry. There we go. Yeah? There we go. That's angry. Looks good. Yeah, we'll call that angry. So Control S to save again. Sorrow. Open up the head mesh. For sorrow, we want brows sad, eyes sad, mouth frown. There we go. There's your sad. Sorrow. Fun. We go to head. And we go, wait, what is it? Fun. So I think that one was shape. Oh, man. Eyes slant big. That one would work. And then we say I smile. No. I heart. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. And then I smile. Kinda. Is there, what one was the like blink smile? Well, we won't waste time. We'll just say I smile. There we go. And then we hit Control S and look up, look down, look left, look right. Those are all just look directions built into the bones. That all said, we hit Control S one more time. This should be ready to go hopefully now. So now when we say click on this, it has all of these VRM metadata plugged into it. It has the shaders. It has the Visemes. I'm really hoping I don't have to record this again, and it exports and behaves itself. Now that we have this, we say export. We say VRM. We say export to VRM. Now everything in here is good. So we should technically be able to just export. Fingers crossed. Let's rock and roll. So we're going to hit export. And I hate commercials. There we go. Now we go to the same folder. And instead of calling this EO1, we're going to call this EO1 underscore V2 for it being the second round of exporting. So that way I know anything I export the first time just as EO1. Anything with versions after that is exported, the second round. So we export. It'll do a thing. Let's pray to the VTuber gods that everything works. So here's my file right here. Jump over to VseeFace, line up my camera, recenter my face, swap glasses so that it'll actually do tracking. Having lightweight glasses is pretty critical for good face tracking. We're going to click Add Avatar, and then we're going to jump to that same folder. We're going to grab EO2, we're going to hit Open. And see, you just added there, EO1. We hit Start, and we are good. Oh, thank God that worked. Okay, yeah, there we go. Blinks work, expressions. They all work. And then under settings, you got to make sure to get this all lined up and working. Let me reopen VseeFace so you can see the settings at the beginning for I'm using the Apple AR kit. You can use lots of different types of tracking in here, but under here, even though it says Elgato face camera, you can kind of ignore that, but that's, if I didn't have an iPhone, it would feed off of this. For microphone, make sure to set your microphone to whatever your input device is. That way it can pick up the mouth movement. Anyways, then you hit Start. So now you would go into settings, and first under expressions, you'd make sure to click on a hotkey and change them to numbers you want. I like the numpad buttons, so that on the side I can use the numpad to turn them on and off, And then also under settings, you have to make sure to go to general settings and scroll down first off to make it go in sync with your with your audio. So even if your mouth tracking doesn't pick up all the way, make sure to check audio lip sync and give it a hotkey so you can turn it on and off if you want. That way, again, even if it can't see your face moving very well, it'll hear your voice and open the mouth and try to do its best to react accordingly. Drift back to normal is very good. That will always make you kind of drift back to centered position. All the way down here, is the setting for the right here. The iPhone facial mocap. You turn this on. Turn your tracking app onto iFacial mocap. Install all iFacial mocap on your phone. Enter the IP address of your phone here and just check all these. The rest is up to you to figure out because I'm mostly telling you how to get it from here to there. In case you needed them, here's my settings that I use over here on the left to kind of get it to behave this way. Play with them yourself because each model is going to be a little bit different. But that said, that is how you go from buying a model on the marketplace like this. The repainting, that's a different thing. But you can go from here to being able to VTube. And this will capture in OBS and have transparency. And there you go. Because I couldn't find a tutorial that did it from beginning to end. And hopefully this will clear some headache because I was having a headache for many days. But yeah, here we are. If I look center, what direction? That direction? Nope, that direction. There we go. Yeah, this works pretty good. Yeah, and you can do your VTubing. And if you want to show the whole body, whee! And you can be like, I'm spinning! Anyways, there you go. That is that. Hopefully this helps some people out there. Have a nice day. Don't forget to swing by... Nope, no, wrong face. Don't forget to swing by number 1, Rice Ballers store. And don't forget to also swing by Demon Queen Vivi to say hello on Twitch because she does amazing artwork and tutorials. Don't forget about GeoXR because GeoXR does amazing music that you can play for free on your videos and not get sued. And don't forget to swing by me, Flufflepimp, on Twitch also. And yeah, there we go. Enjoy the day. Vinvinovic.